Hey everyone, it's Erica. Welcome back. I have a process video for the Bella Boulevard creative team using the Fireworks and Freedom collection. I am going to start off with a white base and then use this paper here. It was a scrap from a previous project, and just cut up these strips and use them along the layout. So I'm going to get these all cut up and then distress the edges of all of them. My plan going into the layout was to just create some strips from the pattern papers in the collection. And as I was going through the pattern papers, I found this leftover piece of borders paper. So I just decided that I would use that for the strips, and I cut them all out, going to distress the edges and then adhere them to this piece of white cardstock. I have two photos here of Liam, and he is excited to go watch the parade. So I snapped some photos of him real quick right in front of our garage door. And I'm going to use these two as for my photos of the layout. So I'm just going through and distressing the edges, and then going to get my mat out here in just a minute to help me line up these paper strips. And then I will just use my adhesive runner to get them laid out on to the white cardstock. I believe I have this white cardstock trimmed down to 11.5 by 11.5, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going to lay out these strips and then get them adhered down. They are spaced out just a little bit so they're not touching. I just left a little bit of white, like a little white gap between each of the strips. And since they are distressed, there's a little bit of texture there, and I just love the way that it turned out. I did want to add some stitching to each of these, but my sewing machine that I recently just got is not working. I'm trying to figure out what is going on with it, but I'm kind of bummed I could not add the stitching through these strips, but I do love the way that it turned out. So just going through, adding the adhesive, getting them stuck down, and then I'm going to get my photos placed on the layout. I do add foam adhesive to one of the photos, and then the other photo will be stuck down directly to the layout. This collection is a lot of fun. I love all of it, everything in this collection, and there are elements in here that you could use for other things besides just 4th of July. One of the things that I love about the Bella collections is that you'll have a side of the paper that is themed, and then the other side is a more like a neutral pattern, so you can use it for anything. There's some really pretty florals in this collection, lots of little firework things, and then one of my favorite pieces, well, there's a couple of them, I think that's a like little firecracker. So I do use those pieces in this layout because Liam is a little firecracker, so they are just like the perfect little pieces for this layout. There's lots of stars and stripes, but lots of pieces that you could use for other layouts besides like a 4th of July layout or like a patriotic layout. There's other things in here that you can pull for other projects. Right now I'm going to go through and try to find a piece of pattern paper to mat my layout on. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to pull in this Bella Besties as the first layer, and then I'm going to mat that onto the white cardstock with the stripes, and then I'm going to use that blue, I think I use that blue one right there with the stars on it as the 12 by 12 base. So I'm just trimming up that graph and dot paper and get everything adhered down. So my base is a white cardstock, and then the Bella Besties is the white with the graph and dot, just to kind of break it up and just to have another layer in there. It's hard to see on camera, it just looks like white on white, but you will see it in the still shots. It just adds another bit of interest and another layer to my base. So I'm just going to use my tape runner, get it all stuck down, and then adhere everything to that blue paper there with all of the stars. Has all of the colors in the collection in there, so I thought it would be perfect to use on this layout. I'm going to go through and add the adhesive, and when I do my mats like this, you can see I'm holding it down on the left side and putting the adhesive on the right, and then I spin it around and then do it on the other side. I do this all the time just in case I need to adjust things. It's easy to kind of pull up one side rather than having adhesive all over the back of that 12 by 12 And then if I don't get it straight, trying to rip that up is just going to end up making the paper warped and wonky and tear. So I just like to use it that way, or do it that way. I'm going to mat my photos on some scraps here from the collection. I have one matted on the red paper and then the other one matted on the blue with the white stripes. Then I'm going to get them stuck down to the layout. I do tend to put my photos more towards the right of the layout. And I was just going over this with a friend. She was creating and I saw that she placed her photo to the left. And I asked her, do you always put it more towards the left? And she says, yes, I do. And I just thought it was funny because she does hers to the left and then I always do mine to the right. And I don't know why that is. Sometimes I will try to put it to the left, but it always looks odd to me. So I always have to move mine to the right. So I'm just going to start by embellishing the layout. I'm going to start with some tabs up at the top. I usually go for tabbies like right off the bat and add things to the top of the photos. That's just something that I always do. Then I have these hearts here at the bottom right corner. Got to get those popped up on some foam adhesive, and then I'll start to build that cluster there to the right. So I have some hearts layered up, and then I'm going to use a word sticker and get that popped up on foam and put that in the center of that heart. There is another tabby there at the top. I'm going to open up this die cut pack to pull out some things to create some different clusters. And because I have these stripes going down the page and the little gaps in between, I do want to add some embellishments like around the layout, like kind of tucked in behind the strips. So you'll see me do that. I have this pinwheel I'm going to pop up here to the right. And then there's a little firecracker die cut I'm going to add there and tuck that in as well. I do kind of bend up the edges of that firework die cut just to give it a little bit of dimension so it's not so flat, and then tuck that in back there. Going to add one of these acrylic stars to the center of the firework, and then add another tabby here to the left. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to add some things to these strips and kind of tuck them in. So I have some tabbies and some banners, some fireworks and some stars. And you'll see me kind of build up the clusters to the layout. Going to pop in that other firework there to the right, and then I'll start working on the left side of the photos, adding some different die cuts and stickers to that side as well. I found some star die cuts that I will staple together and then pop them up on foam adhesive and then build behind there. I have that firework to the top right, and then I put a word sticker popped up on foam in the center. Then another little layer there, a couple strips down, and then I'll just continue to embellish around the layout. I'll make sure to leave links down below if I can find this collection. I know it is available on Bella Boulevard site. I think it comes in like a bundle of product, so I'll leave that link down below. Could not find it at scrapbook.com or a Cherry on Top. I think a Cherry on Top might have had like a couple products, but I couldn't find a whole bunch of these products. But your best bet is to head on over to Bella Boulevard shop and purchase it there if you're looking for it, because it's a nice big bundle of product. Going in and adding a little bit more of these word strips down here. And then I wanted to do a little something at the top and the bottom. So I'm going to pull in the border stickers and add the scallop up here at the top. And then I will add another one down at the bottom. So I have the darker blue at the top, and then the lighter blue scallop will go towards the bottom. The last thing I'm going to do to finish up this layout is add in some of the Bella Boulevard puffy trinket stickers in the red and the blue color to match. Just kind of sprinkle them around the page, just add another texture to the page, and then that will finish up the layout. I will have still shots for you guys at the end. I hope you enjoyed this layout. I had fun putting it together, and I just love the way that it turned out, and the photos of Liam are so cute. I think he's got his funky little star glasses on, but you'll see the still shots here in just a minute. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys get some time to do something creative, and I will see you all soon. Bye.